I'm Mike Sullivan. Today we're going to talk about setting up to the golf ball, good posture, and why it is so important. So we're going to talk about a primary spine angle or a primary spine tilt and why it's so important. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about one of the major differences between the golf swing of the average golfer and the golf swing of a really good player. When you look at the average guy swinging the golf club, you see to some degree a good amount of this lift of the arms and the hips sliding back a little bit. We see backswings kind of like this, and actually last week we made a video talking about that. When you look at the average golfer from down the target line, from going this way as if I was going to hit a ball, at this wall here, you'll see a setup where they kind of flex their knees a little bit, hold the club, and make a backswing this way. And what's happening in both of these examples is you're seeing a lot of movement of my hands picking the club up. This is definitely an exaggeration, but to some degree, we see more of this and we see less of this, of a turn where we're just allowing our arms and the club to swing back together as a unit. So it's called a golf swing, and it's really an apt description of what we're trying to do. We want to swing the club, we want our arms and our club to work together and swing together. We don't want this lifting up of the golf club. And really, it starts with the way we set up to the ball. Somebody that sets up to the ball with really good posture, and we're going to define that as a good primary spine tilt we're going to talk about, has got an opportunity to make a really good swing back and through. Somebody with bad posture, somebody who does not have a correct primary spine tilt, kind of like this or this, those people have really almost no chance of being able to put a good move on a golf ball. So if you want to play better golf and you want to make good golf swings and you want to get good results, it really starts with the setup. And it's not exciting to talk about, it's not exciting for people to work on, but if you start at the beginning and get really good posture, you'll be able to play great golf. So here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to take the golf club and I'm going to put it upside down in my left hand here, and I'm going to put the club behind my back. So as I'm standing right here, you can see I'm in a neutral spine angle. This is considered good posture, as opposed to bending from my back would be bad posture. So watch, if I put the club behind my back and I grab onto the grip of the club and rest it right on my tailbone, right on my belt here, and lift my head up, now I know I've got really good posture. All right, as I'm standing like this, the club is on the back of my head, it's on my upper back, it's also touching my tailbone. If I were to change this great posture and start slouching, see I'm losing that connection with the golf club. So I'm going to keep this connection here. Here's a little tip. Don't try to do this by holding the top also. That's where we get into this thing where people still try to bend the golf shaft. So keep just your tailbone connected to the golf club at the bottom and lifting the head up. Now I'm going to give myself just a tiny bit of knee flex, just soften my knees, and I'm going to bend now from the hips. So watch my belt here, my belt line. See how my belt line, this is me bending from the hips as opposed to bending from the back. Okay, so we're going to bend from the hips. If you have not done this before, it's going to feel uncomfortable. So look in a mirror and practice this, okay? So this is a good primary spine angle or a good primary spine tilt. From here, once I get set up and I can feel my weight now, see it's back on my heels, now it's way back on my toes, I want to get a nice stable foundation with my weight right on my feet. And this looks pretty easy to do. I know it's not when you first try, so just keep trying. This was not easy for me when I first tried it, okay? So I've got my head up, I'm going to let my free arm kind of hang down from my shoulders. This is really helpful to have a mirror behind you, because oftentimes if we've been setting up with poor posture, what feels like your arms hanging straight down will actually look kind of like this. So look in a mirror as you do this, okay? Now I'm going to take my free hand, my right hand I should say, and I'm going to let my hands touch. Now I'm letting my hand come down, my head come down, I'm sorry. And you can see here, hopefully what's happening is the butt end of the club here is pointing right at my belt line. That's what we want. So we want the shaft to point at my belt line. We also would like the shaft of the club to form a 90-degree angle with my spine. So if I were to stand straight up, I would look like this, but I'm bending from the hips. The reason I'm able to do this, and it looks relatively easy, is because I've been practicing it for a long, long time. So it does take some practice, okay? Now from here, I've got my nice primary spine tilt. That's a neutral spine angle, and I have the ability now to turn my shoulders and turn my hips. Look at all that turn I get, okay? If I had poor posture, and I'm kind of setting up this way, well now I cannot turn very much at all. So what we'll see people do in poor posture is, rather than turning, they slide their hips back into reverse pivot, okay? So real quick, one more time, here's what I want you to do. With a mirror, club upside down, I'm using my left hand. With my right hand, I'm gonna hold the butt of the club right on my tailbone, lifting my head back. Soften the knees, bend from the hips. Go ahead, take a look in the mirror. You don't even need to hit balls to do this. Let my free hand hang down, then let my hands meet. Okay, I am gonna feel for a nice even weight distribution. And when I look in that mirror, this shaft should be pointing right at my belt line, and my golf shaft should form a 90-degree angle with my actual spine from this angle right here. Practice this, put in 5 or 10 minutes, do it every day for just a few minutes, because this primary spine tilt is really gonna help you achieve a really good turn. And if you've got a good turn, you can get off to making a great golf swing. If you like this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up for a like. And if you subscribe to our channel, you'll be notified by email each time that we produce a new instructional video.